I was still dressed in black from his funeral. The kind of mourning clothes that felt like they weighed a ton under the relentless Arizona sun. When the letter showed up in my mailbox, the return address was from some place in Oregon, a name I didn't recognize at first. But when I tore open the envelope, out spilled wedding photos that hit me like a gut punch. There she was, in a flowing white gown, and there he was, my Jack, grinning like he'd just struck gold. The letter started with words that made my world tilt. "I'm sorry you had to learn this way, but the truth is owed to us both." I was his wife too. My fingers went numb as I checked the marriage certificate enclosed, dated 2 years before ours. Everything I'd built my life on crumbled right there on my front porch in Phoenix. My name's Sarah. And up until that god-awful week, I thought I had a handle on who my husband was. At 35, I was suddenly a widow, staring down an empty house that echoed with memories of his booming laugh and the jangle of his keys on the hook by the door. We'd been hitched for 6 years. Met at a rodeo fundraiser in Tucson where he charmed me with stories of his sales gigs across the West. Cancer took him fast, pancreatic, the docs said, and I'd spent those final days in the hospital, holding his hand as he slipped away.
Now,
3 days after burying him in the red dirt cemetery outside town, I was sorting through the sympathy cards and takeout containers from well-meaning neighbors when that envelope caught my eye. It was fancy, cream-colored, with elegant script from Portland, Oregon, a city Jack always griped about, calling it too rainy and hipster for his tastes. "Why live in a perpetual drizzle when you've got the desert sun?" he'd say. Inside, 3 glossy photos, Jack in a tan suit, not the black one from our wedding, arm around a brunette in lace, both beaming under what looked like Pacific Northwest pines. The timestamp, May 20th, 2018. 2 full years before we said our vows in a little chapel in Sedona. The letter was polite, but sharp, like a knife wrapped in silk. "Dear Mrs. Thompson, I regret this revelation comes at such a difficult time, but honesty demands it. I was Jack's wife as well. We've been married for 8 years, building a life in Portland. I only discovered you through the online obituary listing you as his spouse. No divorce papers ever crossed my desk. Enclosed are our wedding photos for verification. We must discuss his estate, including life insurance and assets. As his legal wife, certain rights are mine. Contact me soon. Regards, Laura Thompson." My iced tea glass slipped, shattering on the terracotta tile, cold liquid soaking my sandals. I didn't feel the shards. "Legal wife." The words bounced around my skull as the room blurred. Our wedding had been simple, just us, a justice of the peace, and a sunset over the canyons. Jack had brushed off a big affair, saying his family was scattered and complicated. I'd been head over heels, fresh off a bad breakup, so I didn't question it.
now,
Those business trips clicked into place, weeks on the road selling mining equipment, calls at odd hours, always with excuses about time zones and client dinners. "This can't be real," I muttered to the empty kitchen, the ceiling fan whirring overhead like a bad omen. Maybe she was a scammer, photoshopping pics for a quick buck off a fresh widow. People pulled that crap all the time, especially with obituaries online. But doubts crept in. The second cell phone he kept for work, the P.O. box in Albuquerque, he insisted on for privacy, the way he'd clam up about his past. I grabbed my phone and called my best friend,
Mia.
a real estate agent in Scottsdale who'd been my rock through the chemo days. "Sarah, you okay? Sound like you've seen a ghost. Get over here."
Now,
15 minutes later, Mia was pacing my kitchen, rereading the letter like it was a bad script. Her face cycled from puzzled to pissed. This is bullshit. Jack adored you, I saw it. But what if? She trailed off as I pulled up our marriage license on my laptop. Ours was 2020. Hers, 2018. If hers is legit, ours might be bigamy. Invalid under Arizona law. I stared at the photos again. Jack looked content, the same sparkle in his eyes as on our honeymoon in the Grand Canyon. Bile rose in my throat. I bolted to the bathroom, heaving up nothing but grief. When I came back, Mia was on her phone. I'm calling my cousin.
Ben.
He's a family lawyer in Phoenix. We need pro advice. But I wasn't ready for legalese yet. I was replaying our life, anniversaries with steak dinners under starry skies. Lazy Sundays hiking the superstitions. Talks about kids we'd have someday. Was it all a front? Did he dream of rainy Oregon when he held me? The doorbell chimed, jolting us.
Mia answered.
Returning with a certified mail package from Portland. Inside, Oregon marriage certificate. Official stamp and all. Jack Robert Thompson and Laura Marie Evans. May 20th, 2018. Real as the desert heat. By morning, our living room was command central. Mia crashed on the couch, and we dove into Jack's secrets like prospectors after gold. Bank statements first, she said, rifling drawers. I'd never pried before. Trust was our foundation, or so I thought. His laptop password? Our anniversary. It failed. Tried hers. Bingo. Emails revealed 2 accounts, one normal. One jthompsonor@gmail.com. Messages about a Portland condo. Utility bills. Pics from neighborhood BBQs with Laura. In an insurance folder, 2 policies. $600,000 naming me. $800,000 for Laura. Worth more dead, I whispered. Chills racing despite the AC.
Mia dialed Ben.
While she talked, I dug deeper. Browser history, bigamy penalties by state, dual residency tips. The credit card showed a rhythm, Phoenix charges, then Portland, like a migration pattern. Those trips were to his other home, I realized. Tax folder, joint returns with me in Arizona. Others with Laura in Oregon, different SSN. Property deed, Portland bungalow bought 2019. In both their names. And a will, recent, leaving everything to my beloved wife Laura Thompson and our son, Ethan.
Son. Mia gasped.
The word knocked the wind out of me. I slumped into his recliner, smelling his aftershave. A child. Folders of photos, Ethan with Jack's curly hair. Birthdays. Little League games. Jack had dodged kids with me, saying, let's enjoy us first. Now I knew why. That son of a bitch, Mia snarled. But I switched to analyst mode. My job in data entry taught me patterns. More calls. Numbers in Denver. San Diego. Austin. Not just 2, I said. More wives. Encrypted files cracked with Ethan's birthday. Fake IDs. Essence. Passports. This was pro-level fraud.
Mia grinned fierce.
Laura thinks she's the real deal. Wait till she learns her SSN's bogus too. I called her number. Hello, Laura? This is Sarah. About our husband. We gotta talk. The drive to Portland took 2 long days. Cruising through the stark beauty of the Mojave and up the coast. My old pickup truck loaded with documents and doubts. Mia offered to tag along. But this felt personal, like facing a mirror of my own shattered dreams. I rehearsed speeches in my head, vowing to stay cool amid the storm raging inside. Laura's neighborhood was all evergreen trees and craftsman homes, a far cry from Phoenix's saguaros and stucco. Her place, a cozy 2-story with a tire swing and bikes on the porch. So picture perfect it hurt. She opened the door quick, like she'd been waiting. We sized each other up, her polished, me dusty from the road. She was taller, with that effortless West Coast style. Everything I wasn't in my faded jeans. Sarah, she said, voice steady but eyes wary.
Come in.
The house smelled of pine cleaner and fresh-baked cookies. Walls lined with photos. Jack fishing on the Columbia. Coaching soccer. Gala nights with Laura. A life parallel to mine. But Rainier. We sat in her sunroom. Her offering tea I declined. Answers only, I said. She nodded. You've checked the certificate?
And more.
Jack's SSN with you?
Fake.
Belongs to a dead guy from the 90s. Ben ran it. Her poise cracked.
Impossible.
We have joint everything taxes. Mortgage. All on fraud. Real Jack married me in Arizona. Your husband was a ghost legally. She paled. Flipping through my folder. 8 years. Ethan. A boy's voice echoed. Mom. Snack time? Kid with Jack's grin peeked down. My heart twisted. Play upstairs.
Pull.
Be right there. Ethan vanished. Laura's mask slipped. He doesn't know his dad's gone. Said long trip. We shared silence. Two strangers bonded by betrayal. How do you meet? I asked. Tech conference in Portland, 2017. Said he was single. Career-focused. You? Fundraiser in Tucson, 2019. Never married. He claimed. Our eyes met.
There are more, I said.
Evidence points to at least 3 others. She paced. He was here half the time, coaching. Family dinners. Showed receipts from trips. Those were from his other lives. Phoenix. Denver. San Diego. Austin. How? She whispered. 5 lives. Lots of practice.
No soul.
She slumped. The insurance. That's why you're here.
Part.
But fighting each other screws us. Insurance will probe the bigamy. Void everything. Team up. Maybe we salvage something. She eyed me. Not what I pictured.
Thought you'd be.
Complicit. We're both played. Just different coasts. From a desk. She grabbed her files. Here's everything. But if fraudulent, what about Ethan? Paternity test, he insisted. Red flag for a juggler. We mapped timelines. 5 wives. 5 states. A decade of deceit. Jack's charm hit a web. What monster does this? Laura asked, staring at a baby Ethan pic. I had no words. My Jack was tender, through my dad's passing. My job losses. Real or roll? Something odd last month, she said. Nervous. Asking what-if questions. Made me promise strength for Ethan. Same with me. Like he knew trouble brewed. We uncovered more. Shell companies tied to policies. Patterns of fraud. But a name popped, Eleanor Hayes. Listed in old emails. His aunt. Laura frowned. Said family dead. Mine too. But records show her in San Diego, financial advisor. Lost license for scams. Partner? Explains the setup. We called the group, me, Laura, and soon others via video. Rachel from Denver, teacher. Sophia from Austin, nurse. Mia helped track. Total, 5 wives. $10 million in policies. Who benefits? Rachel asked. Eleanor. Buy a contingents if we get disqualified for fraud. Brilliant sick, Sophia said. Expose bigamy post-death. We lose. She wins. But Jack planned fake death. Ruin her plan. So she had him killed. Evidence mounted. Anonymous hire for accident. We went to cops, Phoenix PD first, then feds for interstate fraud. Detective Ruiz in Phoenix took notes. Bigamy's felony here. Fraud too. We'll dig. Back home. Threats started. Anonymous texts warning off. Drop it or join him. We didn't. United. We hired Ben collectively. Victims. Not crooks, he argued to insurers. One night. A breakthrough. Sophia's PI found Eleanor's office in San Diego. She's shredding files. I flew down. Heart pounding. Office empty. But neighbor. Eleanor's nephew Jack visited often. Sad about his passing. Aunt confirmed. She ran it, I told the group. When he bolted, she offed him. Email from Eleanor. Settle for $100,000 each. Or fight and lose all.
No, Laura said.
She murdered. We expose. I staked her house, a beachy bungalow. Saw a man, hospital friend, from Jack's death day. Followed to storage. He grabbed boxes.
Door IR post exit.
I slipped in, files on us. Emails plotting kill.
He's sloppy.
Time to collect. Sirens, I'd called Ruiz. Hid as Eleanor arrived with accomplice mark. Burn it, she said. Wife sniffing? Accidents happen. That's Sarah's isolated, easy fall. Record it all. Cops swarmed. Evidence here, I said, handing phone. Arrests followed. Eleanor's empire crumbled. The trial in federal court in San Diego was a circus, media dubbing us the Western Wives. We five sat united. No longer rivals, but sisters in survival. Eleanor Hayes, sharp in her suit, faced charges, conspiracy, murder for hire, fraud across states. Her nephew Jack had been her tool. Orphaned young and molded into a con artist. Prosecutor laid it out. Decade-long scheme. Jack married us under aliases. Policies funneled to her shells. When he panicked, planning to fake death and flee with hidden cash, she hired a hit, staged as natural. But autopsy showed poison mimicking cancer symptoms. Our testimonies sealed it. I took the stand, voice steady. He built lives on lies. But Eleanor pulled strings. We were pawns. Jury deliberated 2 days. Guilty all counts. Life for murder.
Plus fraude sentence.
As cuffs clicked, she glared, but we stared back. Unbroken. Insurers fought payouts, citing fraud. Ben countered. Innocent spouses doctrine. Victims qualify under federal and state laws. We won partial, each $300,000 after splits. Enough for fresh starts. Outside court, we hugged. Laura. Ethan's in counseling. Learning his dad's love was real. Flaws aside. Moving to Seattle, Rains suits us. Rachel started a fraud awareness nonprofit with her share.
Sophia paid me bills.
Volunteered at shelters. I used mine for a PI firm in Phoenix, helping spot red flags in relationships. What lesson here? Sophia asked. Trust but verify, I said. And strength in unity. We parted, promising reunions. The Five Wives Club. Media called us, bonded by betrayal. Forged in fire. Months later, a package arrived, no return. Postmarked Mexico. Inside, letter from Jack.
Alive.
Dose wrong. Had help. Sorry for pain. Eleanor's puppet, but my choices. Donated hidden funds to Rachel's cause. Loved you all. Brokenly. Stay away. I burned it in my fire pit, watching flames under stars. Ghosts belonged buried. A client called. Fiancé suspicions. Bring records, I said. Truth hurts less than lies. My desk photo. Us 5 post-trial. Smiling. Victims no more warriors. Eleanor's plan counted on our silence. She underestimated Women United. But in quiet moments, I reflected humanely. Jack wasn't monster pure, shaped by loss. Manipulated. Forgiveness? Not fully. But understanding softened edges. Lesson: deception destroys, but empathy rebuilds. We chose rebuild. One evening, walking Phoenix streets, I met Tom, a neighbor.
Kind eyes. No secrets.
Coffee led to dates.
Slow.
Verified. Life moved on. Laura visited with Ethan.
Kids played. We shared wine.
Forgive him, she asked. Not forget, but forward. For us.
Nods.
Humanity won. Expanded trial scene, witnesses detailed deceptions. Emotional cross-exams. Eleanor's defense claimed Jack rogue. She, unaware, crumbled under emails. Post-verdict. We met DA. Your unity key. Payout negotiations. Months. But fair.
I